1, 2, checking the microphone. It is 7:29 according to my estimation. Central African time. Well, that means we have Tier 1 of Breakaway Racing, and of course it is one of the most entertaining, engaging, enthralling South African esports leagues. I'm not alone here. I have the one, the only championship protagonist as far as Tier 2 of Breakaway Racing is concerned. It's the one, the only Tsepo Ludi Mvota. Ludi, hello there. How are we feeling? We are in Baku today.
Hello. Welcome everyone. Yeah, as Tyson said, Ludi here. Guy from Tier 2, man. Excited, man. Baku. If yesterday is anything to go by, we're about to have some serious drama,
man. Some serious drama indeed. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this circuit, and of course, both things to look forward to, as well as some potential banana skins on this track. We hear a lot about the castle section, but you're a racer. You know this track inside and out. You spent some time in the simulator. What else is there to look out for potential hazards, apart from the castle section here in Baku?
From a hazard perspective, I think the corner... What corner is that? Man, I don't remember the name of that corner, man.
Yeah.
But You'll
point it out to us when
as the race is going on. But I think one of the highlights we're going to be looking out for in Baku is that long straight with DRS, man. Like, a lot is going to come out of that. Because you're already caught up at your highest speed and you get DRS down that long straight. Exciting times are going to happen.
Yeah.
A great finish between P2 and P3 yesterday between Bongs and Twitch. So we will see what Tier 1 has in store for us. And also, Tyson, welcome back! Welcome back to Tyson, guys! You know how much you missed this guy, man.
Man, I most certainly missed the breakaway, I'll tell you that. It's been an intense period of work and a little bit of travel, but a lot of it work-induced. But it's good to be back. I look forward to spending so much more time with all of you here. And we see Muspano is already in the comment section. Hello, Muspano. She's waving her blue and white and red flags, representing Red Bull as always. If you've just joined us, welcome. It is Bob and Ludi over here in the comments. As you see, we have quite a chunky, meaty, packed grid here with just 20 seconds before we get into Q1. Ludi, I would like to hear there are about, 26 laps of racing here. From what you could tell, how, what's the tire degradation like, depending on, mediums or soft tires and so on?
So the soft tires have really good pace here, but you're looking at 5 laps at most. So not really advisable. And the medium tire, I think I'm expecting it to be the favorite tire going into the race. And the hard tire, it's one of those races where you'd expect to see a couple of guys go on the hard tire because to include a soft tire on this race, you need to go on a 2-stop strategy, even up to a 3-stop strategy, depending on safety cars and how the race turns out. But the degradation is quite high here.
Man, so you wouldn't risk maybe stretching those soft tires to, say, 10, 12 laps and then slapping on some mediums? You wouldn't do that?
No. I think it's not something we could see unless from the more experienced drivers that know how to use their tires to manage their tires.
Yeah.
But honestly, in Baku, they go out really fast, man. By lap 4, Jeff will be calling you in.
By lap 4, Jeff will be calling you in. Indeed, one of the first to come out of the pit lane this instance is Mfundo. As we can see here, he's been having a quietly solid season. He currently stands on 80 points in the Tier 1 driver standings. He stands in 6th place, is Mfundo, and he's one of the first to come out, surprisingly, going for a set of medium tires in the first qualifying session. So I might have expected perhaps, for him to go on those mediums in the second stint, meaning he would start the race on mediums. But medium tires here. And Letty, as he makes his way through the track here, approaches the castle section, infamous castle section. You could let us know which corner you were speaking about, the one that a lot of drivers have to look out for. Of course, we saw a couple
Oh
of crashes in
yes,
this section of the
going
track as well.
we're going
So,
towards the corner right now. There's quite a quick, not somewhat straight, but then the corner that we go into is this one here.
aha.
The right turn here, that curb makes it really, really tight, and then the wall does not allow you to just throw the car in. So the I think we might expect a few kisses to that wall,
Yeah.
but we know with tier one we expect the excellence here is quite a lot, so they might be able to avoid it. But just that corner is something we need to look out for.
Absolutely, indeed. 18 drivers currently on the grid as Mfundo opens up that rear wing and absolutely punches it, sends it down the start-finish straight. This is what it looks like from Mfundo's perspective. Here he comes into the first corner, takes it nice and clean, not over or under braking is Mfundo, making his way through the first sector. Of course, being the first driver, he will set purple sectors all over. He makes his way through the second turn, one of the first DRS zones, after the start-finish race, of course, and he's going to come. Of course, this is the zone where a lot of overtaking takes place. We saw Lewis Hamilton get his move done on pure Gasly over the weekend. And will Mfundo get some overtakes of his own? Time will tell. 31 seconds in. He's making his way towards the end of the first sector, about to begin the second. It's purple, of course. He is the first driver to set a hot lap. Here comes Mfundo, unscathed, untouched, unbothered here in Baku with about 14 minutes and about 37 seconds to go in this first qualifying session. Into the castle section he comes, and ooh, not too much trouble over there. Hello, Lunga Sabisi, saying this is cool AF. Well, yes, this racing league is cool AF. It is hot AF. It is all of the things AF. It's Breakaway F1 indeed. It's good to have you in the comments, Lunga. We do hope to see you in all of these races here in Breakaway F1. This is our tier 1 drivers, our top tier drivers. We are watching Mfundo in the Aston Martin make his way through the second sector, about to begin the third. Now, he will set the time that will be the time to beat. He will lay down the gauntlet. He will have the time that everyone has to at least match. What can Mfundo do here? 1 minute 28, 29. Will he get as close as possible to the 1 minute 40s and not into the 141s? Well, time will tell. He's past the DRS detection line, and he is absolutely sending it down the start-finish straight. Mfundo crosses the line. 141.683 is the time to beat, set by Mfundo there in the Aston Martin. Man Ray responds on a set of soft tires with a 141.949. So Mfundo looking good, looking solid on a pair of soft tires, Liddy.
Good lap, I must say. I think we're still looking to see quite better times coming out, considering the track is still a bit cold and not rubbered in. But
yeah,
amazing lap from the top three. I'm live with Sita right now, current leadership. Who's just going through that last corner that I spoke about. Romeo just sets out a 140.9, and then Sita going down into the straight. I think
yes,
it's been a great solid lap so far.
And
all of this flat as Buddha. I think everyone here is just gonna get pushed down. We have championship leader about to finish his lap. I think we must go up with Melo as well. He's been doing really great. 139, 140.
140.9 is the time that Ciclay has set. So S. Buddha in the other Aston Martin, Mfundo's teammate, has set the time to be 140.712. Will we see times in the 139s from these top tier drivers? Well, let us know in the comments. Speaking of which, I see a couple of them are flooding through. We will be catching up with them in a second or two. Let's watch Mello the Mellow. Liddy, maybe you could take us through the rest of his lap. He's making his way through the first sector.
Let's go with Mello. Let's just figure out exactly where he is. Going down into the corners. Just trying to figure out that place that looks like CBD here in Johannesburg. Goes into that minor chicane. I think he takes that quite good because that curb could hit you out. Hey, I know Diabo, he needs to take a large chunk of this curb. It does that really perfectly. I think he might have lost a tad bit of time there. Goes into the castle section. Just pure class, man. Hey, Diabo, every time they take it all up, flat down, a bit of a left curve here, touch that curb just a little bit, pushing it down into that little dangerous corner with the easy kiss. Man, Melo's just pure class. Going down into sector 3, I think the time is looking really good so far. If I remember the first two sectors really well, down into the last straight, takes this flat out, touch this chicane, and towards the left, down the straight. Deer is supposed to go on. I let's have a lemon team and we are Kopoza gives in space. In 136. CK sets up another time, 140.
140.3, fantastic time. Mello's good enough for 141.119. Spoo setting the pace, says Lunga in the comments section. It's good to see all of you here. Crash is here. Superstar Hash Driver from Tier 2 is here. Love679 has been enjoying the stream since yesterday. Wish to join soon. Love, it would be fantastic to see you racing here on Breakaway F1, of course. We're going to try and catch up with some of the drivers that are making their first runs, the latest of which is D-Wax in the AlphaTauri, as you can see here. That head bobbing to the left and right, making sure he's staying on track for what he hopes to be a good lap here. D-Wax has also been having a very solid season out here. Well, he seems to have abandoned his hot lap attempt. So instead, we will then catch up with his teammate Selby, making his way through the first sector. Of course, has yet to complete that time. Let's hop on board and see what it looks like from Selby's perspective. And as we do so, we'll catch up with the comments. Ban Kobe, it's good to be back. Espello, it's good to be back as well. And Key Music, it's not an old video. We are live for Tier 1 racing with 9 minutes and a half to go, give or take. And Selby's making his way through the first sector. He's about to complete that. We'll see how he fares in comparison to the rest of the grid. Remember, this is Q1, meaning 5 drivers get eliminated. If it were a full grid, it would be from P16 down to P20. So these drivers are just hoping to make it through to Q2. And, well, if you've set a time in the 1 minute 40s, you might just be sitting pretty in the pits. Perhaps comfortable that your time will not be challenged. But Selby has yet to set a time. He is on... he's making his way, of course, through the second sector right now. And, well, he's under some pressure as far as the season is concerned, is Selby. Currently sitting 19th in the championship with just 13 championship points since the start of the season. We are 13 races in, including today's race. So Selby has a lot of work to do to get out of those automatic relegation places. A reminder, the bottom 3 drivers in the driver's standings will be automatically relegated to Tier 2. As things stand, that is the 86er, Selby, Sango, and Man Ray in the bottom 3. So, Selby with a lot of work to do. 1 minute 33, 34. What can he do? What kind of a time can he set? Can he provisionally make it through to Q2? Selby crosses the line with a 141.2. That is good enough for P10 as things stand. So not bad, but still a lot of work to do, Liddy.
Quite a lot of work to do. I think he might be at risk there a little bit, since I think we have the likes of Fubangobi and Longs who have not set out lap times. So I think he might need to go back in, maybe put in another set of softs just to solidify that spot into Q2. I think one thing we need to just mention as well is that track position is quite important.
Yep. Sorry, just before you go on, I just want to mention that Titus is the first driver to break into the 1 minute 39s, as Crash mentions in the comments. 139.728, an absolute scorcher from Titus in the Haas. Of course, Titus, the former champion, looking to reclaim former glories and reclaim his crown as the top tier driver in Tier 1. Yes, Liddy, you were speaking about track position.
Just a second. Crash is in the wrong place. I'm just sending him an invite. Just continue there. Crash, invite coming through.
All right, now we have Loveness here making his way. He currently sits in P7 in this Williams. Of course, he had set a 140.977, looking to improve on that. Now, as he makes his way through the second sector, about to begin the third, we'll get a sense of whether or not he has improved on his best time so far. And the answer is no. It looks like it might be an in-lap. He's going significantly slower. Meanwhile, the 86er has gone 1.2 seconds quicker than the previous best and becomes the second driver in the 1 minute 39s. 139.901 in a Williams. The 86er is not here to play around. He is under pressure, currently in the bottom 3, currently at risk of automatic relegation if the season were to end today. But it is not over, says the 86er, with that absolutely fantastic time. Well, we're in the 1 minute 39s. I'd like to know from you in the comments, do you think we will see a time in the 1 minute 38s today before Q3 is over? Well, let us know in the comments. Streezy is lighting up the fire emojis for the time that Titus had set. And Streezy is quite surprised at some of the laps of the speeds that these guys are putting in. Tsepiso, I would say, the superstar Alfa Romeo driver, he said he came here to hate. And we will see if there's anything hate-worthy to Piso. Meanwhile, you can see the grid band. Kobe in the Mercedes is one of the only drivers yet to set a time. He crosses the line. P2, 139.821. As Crash in the comments says, 138 is a definite today. Crash is absolutely convinced that before the end of Q3, we will see a time in the 1 minute 38. So, your grid as things stand is Titus, who currently leads with a 139.7 with 5.5 minutes to go. Ben Kobe, as we've just seen, 139.821, followed by the 86er Brakeaway, the championship leader. Seppo Temba and Esbuda make up P5 and 6 respectively. Zotile is on a redemption arc for him since he switched to the wheel. Currently sits 7th best in Q1, followed by Romeo, a.k.a. Mandla, whose teammate Damnesia is not here today, as we see some yellow flags in Sector 2, in P8, and Loveness in P9. Mello the Mello, Malusi the Malusi, currently in P10 as things stand. Selby is making his way back into the pits. Let's see what Lowe's is doing out here. There's a yellow flag out on track. Looks to be going quite slowly, is Lowe's.
I think Lums, I was live with Lums. I think there was a point he was 8 tenths up. I think he might have just had to abandon the lap.
Had to abandon his lap here. Kid K's asking Streezy if we can count on him to behave today in the comment section. Spy Sosa unfortunately has invalidated his lap, so we'll have to catch up with him a little bit later. Kaboza, who's one of the first to come out, is about 8 tenths quicker than his previous best time. He is under pressure to make it out of Q1 and join his teammate Zotile in the rest of this qualifying session. Kaboza in the Red Bull, of course, has had a solid start to his season, driving for Red Bull alongside last season's runner-up. Kaboza, he currently sits in P13 in the driver's standings on a tally of 34 points. So not too bad, but of course a lot of work to do if he is to solidly survive and keep a spot in Tier 1. It looks like he's on a slower lap here, so we're going to instead catch up with Mfundo, who's currently going about a tenth slower than his previous best. It'll be good to catch up with a driver who we haven't followed closely. Let's see how this man does. He's on a rich vein of form, Luddy. You've watched him closely over recent weeks. What has changed? What has been his approach been, Mello the Mellow? What has been the key to him having such a rich vein of form, in your view?
Oh, man. I just feel like he's just had his head down, just because the way he's been driving is just second to none. And I think he came into the new season with a little bit of bad luck. From 10-1, you just see him dropping down the points, and he'd always be in recovery mode. But right now, he's just been dominant, man. Especially the last 2 races, what we've seen is just pure class.
Yeah, pure.
He just has to give us those secrets, because even in the interviews, he'll just tell you what he's setting, his setups are. Very giving fella, very giving fella.
Yeah, absolutely great guy here, as Gamma Maverick is on the hate train, seemingly, for Zoe Hamilton, as they're calling him. A couple of comments are saying Zotal is not quite dominating. Mello goes 9 tenths quicker than his previous best to set a 140.156. The top of the 140 times is Mello the Mellow here. Gamma with the spice. A lot of the spice in the comments section. Kid K saying... is saying not here to defend his Baku win. Let's see what else is happening in the comments. Peace says the Red Bull has not been bullying this season accordingly. And, well, Kid K is grabbing the popcorn for all that spice. As Charlie 3 Stacks, Charlie 3000 marvels at the time that Titus had set. Now, what can this man... Yes, 2 minutes to go in this first qualifying session. What can Sikle, the championship protagonist, do? He has been knocked down to P5, courtesy of all the times that have been set most recently. One of the most recent being that of Van Kobe.
Melo is a second up.
On his previous best?
Yeah, he's just going into the last chicane.
Yeah, let's...
I don't know if I saw that properly, but I think he might be just on a scorcher. There's been some really great competition or rivalry up the top now. Who's leading between Sihle and Melo? Melo just goes through the.
Melo is further ahead, so we're on board with Melo, and then we'll hop straight onto Sihle immediately after. He's just a couple of seconds behind Melo here as he makes his way through the last part of the second sector, about to begin the third, and he comes, of course, into this braking zone, which you've got to nail absolutely perfectly if you are not to hit that wall. Spy Zozo, the first driver to retire out of this qualifying session. He was in the bottom 5, or the bottom 4 currently, so he was at risk of being knocked out of Q1. Spy Zozo will sit the rest of the session out in the paddock. He will watch as these drivers take on Q2 and 3. Melo's definitely going significantly slower.
Yeah.
The 2-minute mark.
Stitcher as well.
Yeah, slow down. There's a yellow flag. Perhaps they were affected by that DNF, if you will, by Spy Zozo. Meanwhile, we just saw this Man Ray, whiz past his teammates. Ooh, did he kiss the wall a little bit there? It was definitely cutting it fine, was Man Ray. Under pressure, currently last of these active runners, with just 15 seconds to go before this qualifying session is officially over. We do have quite a couple of drivers still out on track, and Man Ray is looking to bump his way up a couple of places at least here, as Crash is asking for a full track map. Let us make sure.
Selby's in P13. I think he's going slightly faster than, but he might need more than that. He's up 10th. But I think he's safe. We should be focused more on D-Wax and Menray or Kopoza, who's got the checkered flag. So
yeah, so Man Ray is currently slower than his previous best time, so he's definitely at risk here, as we're about to watch him finish his hot lap attempt. He is under pressure. He's really looking to get out of this bottom 4 or bottom 5 and secure a spot in Q2. Under pressure, can he do it? Well, he is one of the few drivers making a last-ditch attempt alongside the likes of D-Wax and Tindo, who are still out on track. He could not improve, could Man Ray. However, D-Wax did, and he finds himself in P13 as a result.
Red Bull gets knocked out. Kopoza and Man Ray. Selby down to P15.
Yeah, Kopoza is out. He is absolutely out, not able to improve on his 141.4, and he will sit the rest of his qualifying session out. And, Tindo abandons that. He almost hit that dangerous wall you were talking about, Liddy. And Tindo will have to, of course, just guide that car back home as we finish the rest of this qualifying session. Well, your times as things stand, or rather your grid as Tindo retires his car. Titus set the fastest time, Van Kobe second, followed by the 86er, Sihle, and Melo the Melo in 5th place. In 6th was Tepo Temba, Esbuda, and then we have the likes of Lungs, Zotile, Romeo, Tindo in 11th place. Loveness was 12th, then D-Wax, and then Imfundo, and I will be giving you the rest of the grid in a second or so. Red Bull down, says Charlie 3 Stacks, lamenting the loss of Kopoza over there. And yeah, that is your grid as things stand. Loveness was 12th, D-Wax 13th, and Fundo 14th, Selby 15th, and then, of course, Kopoza, Man Ray, and Spy Zozo, who could not make it through. Liddy, your expectations in the second and third qualifying sessions?
I think following the season as it is, we're seeing some new faces up in the top. So I think Baku might throw us a bit of a surprise. We're not used to seeing Titus up there from this season, so I think he might have gotten a championship pace off his back. We're just used to seeing Sihle up top. We're used to seeing Banrobi and maybe Melo. So I think today is quite a different one. I think a prediction from the comment section would be quite interesting before Q2 starts.
Yeah, we will pay close attention to that. The comment section currently is the roast of Zotile as things stand. Masabano is on is fighting fiercely in defense of Zotile, as we see 15 drivers are left with about this qualifying session has 15 minutes for all of these drivers to secure their place in the top 10 shootout. Who is getting eliminated? Who are your predictions to slip out of Q2? We saw what the 86er can do when he locks it in and he sets a hot time. So although he's struggling in the championship, hey, you never know what the 86er can do. And here comes that line of cars. It is a Merc. It is a the papaya orange McLaren of Romeo, who we will.
Interesting thing. I just want to find out. I think Crash is usually the guy with such statistics. I'm interested to know what the qualifying P1 and Tier 3 would have been in our Q in Tier 1 right now.
Yeah.
Quite, because we've had some really fast runners up in Tier 3.
Yeah, absolutely. The likes of Smirt's Django, whose pace has been unchained completely, and the likes of there's New Chill, there's Charlie Three Stacks has got a decent amount of pace, and Quali, Brown Boy, of course, is in Tier 2 now, so a lot of pace all throughout the Breakaway roster. Christopher Crash is saying it would have been P2, responding to your comment there, Letty. Titus is back, says Lungello in the comment section. And, man, why did you call out Titus? Look at him now, says Charlie in the comment section. We are watching Romeo Mandla. Of course, he's the lone McLaren as far as this race is concerned. His teammate Josh Damnesia is not taking part out here in Baku. So we'll watch Romeo and see how he fares in his first run in Q2. He currently sits in P17, so another driver is Romeo, who is under pressure. Just 14 championship points. And, well, he's got his work cut out if he is to secure his spot in this oh-so-demanding, oh-so-challenging Tier 1 league. Let's hop on board with Romeo as he's about to cross that start-finish line and make his way that blinding run to turn 1. And he takes it nice and cleanly. He hits the apex fairly decently, does Romeo here. And makes his way through the first sector. Another braking zone into the second corner. The first DRS zone. He opens up that rear wing, as you can see, and punches his way through this straight. He's about to come, a little heavy on the throttle there, as he was still downshifting there, but he comes through unscathed, does Romeo. Could that have cost him a couple of tenths? Well, interestingly, he is on a set of medium tires. That gives us a sense of what he's thinking as far as the start of this race is concerned. Comes through the chicane unscathed, does Romeo. And being one of the first runners, he will, he won't be surprised to see some purple sectors. I would inform you that Bankobi, I think, is actually, slightly further ahead, and Romeo kisses the wall on the canceled section. He might have to abandon that hot lap attempt. Just checking if we can see any notable damage to that wing. Well, he still seems to be punching it, but that right front wheel did nick. Yeah, did nick that.
He'll just set it out as a banker, or he might just go into the pits just to save time.
Yeah. And he comes through sector 3 here. If he has suffered some damage to the front wing, then he would be feeling it as far as making his way unscathed through this fast section of the track is concerned. We should see a Mercedes set a time, and what do you know? It's a Ferrari up first. It's Cicle on a set of medium tires, 140.541. Romeo, what can you do? 141.325. Not bad.
But Novi's coming down the long straight.
Well, let's see how he does. A set of soft tires, I would add. So that is what he is thinking, as his teammate sets a 139.963. Bankobi responds P2, 140.181, as the times are beginning to trickle in here.
Oh, Mercedes!
Yep. And despite being roasted to smithereens in the comments section, Zotal has quietly, solidly set a 141.682 as the times begin to slowly trickle in here. Let's see how the 86er fares here. Nah, it looks like a definite slow run here. He's going to cross the line in the 2 minutes. It was an invalidated lap.
Lavins comes in with a 141.7. Only good enough for P10 with 5 more drivers without times. I think that's not going to be good enough.
Yep, let's see how Titus fares. Looking across the line in the high 30s if he can. He crosses the line, 140.061, good enough for P3. And Teppo Temba, would you look at that, 140.060 on a set of soft tires. What a season he's having, Teppo Temba. Of course, one of the new drivers to this cohort of Tier 1 drivers. He's been having a scorcher of a season, currently sits 5th place in the Drivers' Championship, 82 points before the start of this race. An absolutely blinder of a season from TT, being cheered on by Crash in the comments section, as we can see. Absolutely fantastic from Teppo Temba here. Let's try to catch up with a driver who has yet to set a time. It is Selby Sango getting, quite familiar. He was cuddling the wall there, as you could see. But will he make it through the rest of his stint unscathed here? A set of medium tires. It's quite mixed, Luddy. Selection of medium and soft tires.
I think the strategy here is it's not going to be one uniform strategy, because track position, you go out on the softs, maybe hoping for a safety car, because the softs don't really last that long. I think the tier 2 drivers can attest to that, and the tier 3 drivers.
Yeah.
So I think some of them might just be thinking,
oh,
did you see that?
I was watching, yes, Selby. The wall that you warned us about, look at that front wing, definitely took some damage. He will be limping his way back home. He had yet to set a time, did Selby. Let's see, meanwhile, how the 86er does. It looks to be on another slow lap. Charlie says the soft tires are quite weak on this track, so Charlie wouldn't recommend you start with those soft tires. Lungs, let's see what you can do, making your way through the final stretch of this track. Lungs and Teppo Temba, the teammates have collided, earning Teppo Temba a 5-place grid penalty, it looks like. Oh, man. Teppo Temba will be kicking himself, and Lungs might have taken some damage thanks to that collision, and is making his way.
Might have just enough time. I think Lungs has been having quite the season, I must say. His race pace has been, well, I can't say second to none because it's not first, but you know, he's been having really amazing race pace. I think qualifying might not be that perfect as yet, but I think Lungs has been having one hell of a season. We need to look out for him.
Absolutely, as the 86er sets the fastest first sector on a set of medium tires, so definitely a potential scorcher on our hands. Lungs, who you just saw going into the pits, presumably to change a wing. He has been having a fantastic season, as you say, Liddy. He currently sits on 135 points, 5 points behind Mello the Mellow. He is in 3rd place in the driver's standing, so pretty much a memorable season for him in Tier 1 driving. Last season for Lungs was, of course, an adaptation, if you will. He had switched to the wheel, but now he's fully acclimatized. He's doing absolutely incredibly as the 86er makes his way through the end of the 2nd sector. He is looking to cement his place in the top 10 as the 86er. Let's hop on board and see what it looks like from his perspective on this final stretch of the track. What can the 86er do? He opens up that rear wing. He has his sights on that start-finish line. 1 minute 39. He crosses the line to go P8, 141.090 for the 86er. So as things stand, well, still some work to do to make sure that he is 100% guaranteed that top 10 shootout. So a lot of a decent effort from the 86er on a set of medium tires. He's definitely the quickest of the medium runners, as we can see so far. That is looking decent from the 86er. Crash says the 86er has such immense raw pace. I don't know what happens in races, so Crash knows what this man can do. He just needs to turn it on more consistently when the race begins. D-Wax, what can you do when the AlphaTauri? Your teammate Selby, we saw struggling and hitting the wall. Hopefully no such bad luck for you. Sanzo says a 138 still away. We will see if we get that. Mello the Mellow has set a 139.963. So far, the only driver in the 139 in Q2. And it looks like the 86er and D-Wax and Loveness will be the drivers to begin their race on a set of medium compound tires if things remain as they are. D-Wax through the 2nd sector, Liddy. Another one who's not shy as far as pace is concerned is D-Wax.
Yeah, it's been having quite the season. I think as it stands, I feel like he's having good pace in Baku. I think
Yeah,
him and the 86er might be those surprise packages that are just going to shock us today. So let's just see how he ends up. He's 2 turns up from his previous lap, which is in P10 currently, which
yeah.
makes him the driver at risk. Down the long straight, 126, straight down. Has to put that DRS down. Just that right turn.
And he crosses the detection line, opens that rear wing. What can he do? He keeps it absolutely straight, and he crosses the line 2 tenths quicker, but still only P9. Yeah, so definitely still at risk is D-Wax there. What about S. Buddha? He is currently has been knocked down to 11th place, as we saw just there. He's making his way through the first sector. He comes through the chicane unscathed. I would have you know, as Buddha has set the quickest first sector. Now, what can he do for the rest of this? If he was thinking on, starting on a set of medium tires, he would abandon that. He almost got a little too comfortable with that wall there, as he makes his way through the castle section, seemingly unscathed. A lack of time to make up for it. He wants to make sure that he is unequivocally in that top 10, and then he will just see how these soft tires run at the start of this race. 3.5 minutes to go. What can S. Buddha do? He does not hit that wall. He's making his way through this second sector, one of the last slow braking zones of this track. He is 6 tenths quicker than his previous best time that he had set. He is purple in the second sector. This is an absolute scorcher from S. Buddha. He is not here to play around. He is here to absolutely smash down a possible fastest time here. What can he do on the final straight? The DRS is open. He screams down the start-finish straight, crosses the line, good enough for P5, 140.338 for S. Buddha with less than 3 minutes of qualifying to go, Liddy.
What a lap, man. What an absolute lap. I was looking for it to break into those P1, P2 positions, but wow, what a lap from this Buddha. I see CK is 2 turns up from his previous lap down into the last chicane. Still in sector 1. Purple sector 1 by CK. Takes this chicane, has to take a big chunk of that chicane, driving down into castle section. Finish it up, Tyson.
He comes through the second sector, does Seatley. Absolutely scorching first sector, like you said there, Liddy. So we know what this man can do when he gets the bit between his teeth. He comes through the infamous corner that Liddy has warned us about this entire qualifying session. It has already taken a couple of scalps, but not this man, not Seatley, not Brass Seatley, as he is 5 tenths quicker than his previous best time. He is staring down the best time set so far by Mello the Mello, Malusi the Malusi. Will Seatley break into the 1 minute 39? At this point, we would not be surprised. He is on the final stretch, the final straight. He opens up that DRS. He punches it down the line. What can he do? 38.916. A couple of hundredths quicker than Mello the Mello. Liddy, that was insane.
What a scorcher. 1 minute to go with Mello in the pits. I think that's going to be the fastest lap of this race. I don't see a 138 because 9 tenths is quite... Yeah, it's quite a stretch to ask from the driver, but what an absolute drive up from CK. He's not leading by mistake.
Yep, he is not leading by mistake. Some Liverpool announcements in the comments from Key Music. Not sure what that is about. That is probably perhaps the big transfer of Nunes, the Portuguese sensation. Well, there are no Portuguese. I think, well, he plays in Portugal. I think the party might not be Portuguese sensation. Anyway, let's get back to the Formula One. Crash says Titus was 139.7. And Senzo says, I think Poe will be in the low 1 minute 39.5s. Well, time will tell. It is just less than a minute to go. In fact, about 30 seconds before we got into the top 10 shootout. Has Loveman slowed down here? I was intention to be on board with him.
I think he abandoned. Yeah. I don't know if he has enough time to try and save his race. But on the mediums, I'm not seeing it. I don't see it happening on the mediums.
Right. Let's see who else might be on a final hot lap attempt. Tindo looks to be going quite slow. There's an AlphaTauri which just passed them. If you can see someone who's definitely on a hot lap, just let me know. We'll
86er who's just almost 4 turns up from his previous lap.
All right,
who's been having real good pace. Take them down, Tyson.
All right, here comes the 86er. He absolutely gets quite familiar there in this cold weather. Decides, it's in Castle section. The 80s. The 86er, yeah, we've lost Loveness and Romeo Mandla.
What's going on?
Well, we've lost those two in quick succession, I would add. Before it's a dramatic end to Q2 here. Romeo was safe. Well, if no one was going to beat his time.
86 is still 3 turns up.
Yeah, the 86er is probably the only driver who's definitely still on a fast lap. I'm not quite sure where Esbuda is. He might be a little further ahead. He definitely was. Let's see what the 86er can do here.
I think this might save him.
He crosses the line. P13, not good enough, not quick enough. Unfortunately, Esbuda, who had been the third driver in the 1 minute 39s, is making his way back to the pit lane here. So, Mfundo, are you on a hot lap here? Is that what is happening? No, he's definitely slow. He's definitely moving quite slow. Well, your grid, your top 10, Sikle, Mello the Mello, Esbuda, Tsepotemba, Titus, Tindo, Bankobi, 7th fastest in Q2. Lungs is into Q3. Selby has made it through to Q3. And Zotile, a.k.a. the man most roasted today. It's been a roast session in the comments. Well, Zotile has responded in turn with a scorcher, if you will. Not quite a scorcher, perhaps he's only 10th quickest in Q2, but he is...
by the skin of his neck, man.
Yeah, absolutely. He just made it. He is in that top 10 shootout. Zotile will have something to say for that scrap for pole position. That's your top 10. Let us know in the comments who is going to be in the front row, the second row. Your P1, P2, P3 predictions, let us know in the comments. It's top tier breakaway racing. We cannot wait for the top 10 shootout, Liddy.
Oh man, I think just really bad luck for the 86er, man, because his Q1 time would have put him into Q3
comfortably.
Kissing those walls is a bit of bad luck, so a bit hard done there for the 86er.
Yep, absolutely hard luck. Charlie's 3 stacks. Charlie 3,000 notes. Zotile is in with 5 thousandths of a second by the skin of his teeth. Zotile makes it into the comment section. Well, we've got Bratox here, who's also, he's had some contact with Zotile.
Zotile, ayasokola siya mara. Ngimtshelile ngathi ayovakashela le mechanic club eFostorana. That's why uthola insimbi eCorolla wayifaka kule rate. That's why yabona manje seka ku Q3 bekasokola.
Well, apparently Zotile's been getting some help. He saw a mechanic in Vosloris, according to Bratox, but that has not been independently verified. Well, here's your top 10. Seaflay is top of the charts, followed closely by Mello the Mello. A very confident start to the season it's been for Mello the Mello and Lungs, as you've mentioned, Letty. An absolutely fantastic potential race and potential Q3 we have in prospect here. Just 15 seconds to go, and the man that we usually see at the top of these timing charts is, he's right back there, where he is most comfortable. Yeah, we'd love to hear your P1, P2, P3 predictions in the...
Not so good for the medium runners out there, considering the softs don't really do that great here, and I wonder what's going through the drivers' minds right now.
Yeah, and also another thing to consider, these drivers by now would have an idea of what the weather situation is looking like for the race, and that we will get a clearer idea of when it actually begins in about 12 or so minutes time. That is the time allocated for Q3. We'll get a sense of who exactly will come out first here, and we will follow them quite closely.
Are we seeing new setups now? No one's getting out of the garage. AlphaTauri comes up first.
Yeah, the AlphaTauri, that would be this man, Selby Sango. Under pressure, currently in the bottom 3, as Ndebo joins the session, of course, from London is Ndebo. He's based in London. Crash predicts that Titus, Mello, and Sikle will be the definite top 3. Selby has left the session. What the heck happened there? Well, not sure what happened there. Perhaps disconnected?
Yeah, I think he'd still have enough time to get control of his car and just put in maybe one, maybe two laps. I
Yep.
see Tinder's coming out on the mediums. Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Not sure why a set of mediums when it's pretty much a sprint to make sure that you get the best time in this qualifying session. So, we'll see how Tindo fares. Mellow the Mellow has had an absolutely fantastic couple of weeks in recent times. Charlie Three Stacks suggests that the Merc boys may sneak one, perhaps a 1-2. Charlie says Bankobi, Mello, and Titus will be the top three. Lungello reckons it'll be Seaflay, followed by Mello, and then Titus. Well, they're all here. They're all on the verge of beginning their hot lap attempts. Just Selby and Seaflay still in the pits, waiting for the track perhaps to...
Melo's gonna go on the final straight stretch.
Yep. Key Music reckons that Zotal will be at least in P5 or higher. At least he's praying for that. Judging by the candle emoji. Let's hop on board with this man, Mellow the Mellow, the man in a rich vein of form, in a purple patch. Will it be purple sectors in Q3? Time will tell. He crosses the start-finish line, makes his way quite cleanly through that first corner, carrying a lot of speed as Mellow the Mellow. He is not shy as far as the throttle is concerned. His braking is immaculate the more comfortable he has become on this racing wheel. He's making his way through the first sector. He is one of the first, of course, to set a hot lap, so do not be surprised to see purple sector after purple sector, but this being Mellow the Mellow, he's quite used to that, especially considering recent races. Now, he is unscathed coming into the end of this first sector, about to begin the second. What can he do through the chicane, which of course takes its fair share of victims as far as chopping some tenths of your qualifying time is concerned, but maybe not to Mellow the Mellow. He is into the second sector and is about to approach the infamous castle section. We've seen drivers get quite intimate with the wall on the right-hand side, but not this man, not Mellow the Mellow in this instance. He makes his way unscathed, quite heavy through the curbs there, as he comes out of the castle section unscathed as far as damage to that car is concerned. Now, he is approaching the infamous corner, which has claimed quite a few scouts already today. What will be the case when the race begins? We will see. Mellow the Mellow has made his way through the final braking zone. Purple second sector, unsurprisingly, being one of the first to run. He absolutely sends it, hugs the apexes there, does Mellow. And now he stares down the final straight. 1 minute 30 seconds so far for Mellow the Mellow. Will he be the first driver to break into the 138s? He is absolutely screaming down to the start-finish line. He crosses it with a 139.669. The gauntlet, the time to beat. Mellow the Mellow has laid it down, Liddy.
Absolutely amazing lap from Melo. I think one thing I was noticing is the way he rotates his car. It's just so unique, man. I think he could still use a little bit more of the rest of the track, but his rotation is just so extremely beautiful, man.
Beautiful indeed, as this man, Zotal, the roast of Zotal in the comment section, he responds with a 140.133. Currently the second best, of course. Quite a few drivers yet to set times. Ban Kobe responds in part with an identical time, 139.669. Both Mercedes, are they running an identical setup? But they absolutely scorched it with a photo finish, an identical time. It's a front row lockout with the rest of this qualifying session to go. But of course, what will Seaflay have to say? What will S. Buddha and the rest of the grid have to say? Well, S. Buddha has set a 139.746 as Titus, the former champion looking to reclaim past glories, screams into the 139.156 in a half.
Melo is half a second up.
Well, would you look at that, as Mellow the Mellow is...
Half a second up. What's going on here in Tier 1?
Let us hop on board. We are joined by the absolutely surprised Crash. What do you make of that? That is absolutely insane, Crash.
Let's go.
Crash Mello!
What?
Whoa!
That is insane. The gloves are off. Mellow the Mellow improves on his time, but it is nowhere near Titus's 1 minute 39.156. absolutely insane. Let's catch up with the likes of Alonso. He's on his in-lap, seemingly. Well, Selby is the last of these drivers to make an attempt on the fastest time. So we're on board with him, but is he going slowly here, or am I imagining things? Well, let's see what it looks like from his perspective.
Welcome, Crash. Welcome. What do you think so far of what you've been seeing?
Carry on, guys. Carry on. It's heated. Carry on. I need to digest this.
He needs to digest it. He needs to process this, as by now Selby has been told by his race engineers of the kind of times that have been set, the gauntlet that has been laid down by the likes of Titus, the likes of Mello the Mello, the likes of Bankobi. There's been a lot of talk this season about the likes of Mello, Bankobi, Seaflay, of course, and Lungs, who's been having a fantastic season. But don't forget about me, says Titus. Don't forget who I am. Put some respect on my name. Sprinkle some purple on my time, said Titus with that 139.156. An absolutely insane time as Selby Sango, the lone AlphaTauri in this Q3, attempts to make his first time. It is good enough to P7, 140.531. That time by Titus. We are still picking up our jaws from the floor as we are about to see how Seaflay will respond to those times. Man, Liddy, insane, man. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely insane, man. I'm still
Jesus Christ.
The comment section. The comment section is just dusting me, man. It's been an absolute fun time. I'm live with Seaflay, who's about to start his lap. I'm wondering what answer he has for what Titus has put up.
Correct. He's on the home straight.
He's on the home straight. Yeah. Well, by now. Well, let us know in the comments. Do you think Seaflay can do it? Can he break it, Crash? I'd love to hear your thoughts. We've seen what he can do. Can he do it?
I doubt it. Yeah, 139 is something else. Also, the pressure is just outrageous. But then again, you can't write him off, so we can just wait and see. He's always got responses, and he doesn't really buckle that much under pressure.
Yeah.
So let's hold out and see what he has to do,
He feeds off pressure.
Yeah.
Feeds off. He's using the entire track. If you just look how it's going, he's just he's leaving very little gaps between him and the wall. So that could gain him a lot of time. Street circuits are rewarding to the brave.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The Joburg CBD area.
The Joburg CBD area. He passed a small street mall, and was that a purple at first second? Looks like purple.
Run, man! Come on, Tier 1. It's been really exciting. Purple sector 1 by seated down into the castle section. Does not make any. There's no intimacy there. Takes this.
loses the car.
Is it the pressure crash? Is this the first?
I told you.
Oh,
Tier
man.
1, ladies and gentlemen. What else can you expect? Cancel your DSTV, guys. That is where you're supposed to be.
That's Breakaway for you, man.
That's Breakaway for you, man. Seaflay, the first. It's so rare that we see a mistake out of this man, but he still has time to rectify it. The question is, did he have enough fuel for another run here, or did he underfuel as much as possible? We will see. He has no choice but to go again because he has yet to set a time, does Seaflay. The comments, Charlie says, let's go. Fire emojis for what Titus did out there. Gamma was saying Seaflay has been surveying the times. Let's see his response. And we saw there, a whole lot of responses. Yes, Crash.
Sorry, did Seaflay not break a wing or something there?
No, he just lost it. He just, was it oversteer or understeer?
But he did touch the horn, and he looked at the time. He wasn't going to have enough time to go into the pits and come out again for a flyer. So he has to, take it home. He's got no choice. I mean, let's observe his sector 1 time.
Yeah,
the 34.
His fuel's already flashing.
It purple.
Goes even quicker. So he's fine. He's fine.
He is absolutely fine, as Crash notes.
Purple sector 1 by Seaflay.
Yep. Purple sector 1. We saw him come under pressure. What can he do now? Inch perfect through that dangerous part of the castle section. He has made his way through Joburg CBD. He can see in his mind the start-finish line. He is absolutely punching it. And what can he do as he's about to end this second sector?
Petrol.
Yep, as Crash is noting, that red light is flashing on the right of the telemetry. As you can see that purple second sector.
2 seconds up.
Will it be enough? Does he have enough fuel to make it to the start-finish line? That fuel gauge is screaming.
Come on!
Here comes Seatley. It is the final straight. He is absolutely sending it. That throttle is down to the floor. He crosses the line. 139.2. Good enough for P2. But he will not have enough fuel, Crash, to make another run at it.
Is Melo on the flyer?
Mercedes into the second row.
Malusi is on a flyer.
Yeah,
he's a 10th quicker. He's a 10th quicker.
One. Yeah.
Oh, so with the Mercedes hot laps, just as they did, they now sit in the second row of the grid.
Yeah, those insane hot laps that the Mercedes put on. They are currently in the second row, and I would have you know that Baku has just crossed the start-finish line, beginning his hot lap attempt. But right now, we are watching his teammate Melo the Malusi, making his way
to 10.5 up,
making his way through this final
this is
part
exciting.
of the track.
By the way, I'm just sitting at the front of my couch. Just that last part that keeps me stable. Because what is going on, Melo?
What is going on? He has opened up that rear wing.
Improved by 2 or 3 tenths.
He goes quickest! It's a 1:39.038. Malusi the Malusi is the quickest man. Oh, Baku, as we've just seen, he hits that wall in the castle section, retires his car from the session. What an insane time. Crash, Liddy, that was insane from Malusi.
I just jumped up, my earphones got pulled out of my controller, my controller was pulled out of my...
Oh my God. Fell off my couch. I was sitting on the edge and Malusi just dropped me off my couch. 3/10 of a 138. Come on, man. This is Breakaway, man.
No, Melo.
It is.
No, man.
It is.
What?
While we take that in, I would have you know as Buddha has been improving on his time by a factor of a couple of tenths. He is making his way down the final stretch here. What can he do? He's good enough for P4, and he nudges Baku down to P5 in the process. Seppo Temba is 8 tenths up on his previous best time. He crosses the line, P4 currently, so he sits on the second row. Absolutely fantastic.
139.3. Let's go.
Let's go. Seatley, but Norby decides to just crash those cars because what pressure is this? Come on, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, Baku DNS. You grid, everybody. Your top 10. Melo the Melo starts in pole position, followed by Titus and Seatley in P3. Seppo Temba, what a session, what a season. P4. S. Buddha is in 5th place, followed by Baku. The roasted Zotile has been spinning on a rotisserie in the comment section, but has been good enough for P7 in Q3. Selby Songo will start in 8th place, followed by Tindo and Lungs rounding out the top 10. Absolutely insane.
I called the top 3.
You called it. I was just about to say. Yeah. Oh, man. Woo. Kid K was saying that this was expected for Melo. He did a 138.7 on the weekend during data collection. And Gamma was saying that Malusi is showing tier 1 the way. Cultured Car says these lads are wilding, and some fire emojis for all of those insane times that the likes of Melo and Titus had set. Man, welcome to top tier breakaway racing. We are about 20 seconds from the start of the race out here in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Madness.
Oh, madness. Oh, what an absolutely amazing. I think this might just be one of the best qualifiers that I've witnessed here. Welcome back, Tyson. Welcome, Crash.
It's good to be here, guys. What a race we have in prospect here. I absolutely cannot wait. Now, that's your top 10. What are your race predictions? Is it too early? We would love to see. Crash, it looks like you're in the race here.
Oh, yeah, got in late, so they put it in, yeah.
All right.
Let's get the predictions for the start. Who finishes the first lap there?
What position is Baku starting in?
P6.
I think it's 6.
6 or 7? Yeah, somewhere there.
He got dropped down to 6 when Spuda and Seppo Temba came into Top 5.
How insane was that first run for Mercedes? Absolutely identical times down to the thousandth of a second. Absolutely insane.
That was crazy.
Absolutely insane.
Lord, what's the comment saying, guys? This has been an absolutely exciting qualifying.
Tapiso is consistent on he's driving the hate train. He's saying Zotail will lose 4 places at the start. Oh man, it's been the sort of Zotail. Streezy says those times are the stuff that Zotail can only dream of. I'm not sure where this Zotail roast is coming from. Apparently it has to do with his commentary.
It has to do with commentary yesterday. He was a bit on savage mode yesterday. He asked Straw if he doesn't have enough girls to kiss. Why is he kissing? Take us through, Tyson. We miss your starts.
It is 5 lights and they are out and away we go here in Baku. Let us see exactly what it looks like. Melo gets a clean start. Titus is right there. Seatley, it looks to be having a scrap with a Mercedes there as we see cars squirming. But none of the top 3 have lost places so far as things stand. We will catch up with exactly what the positions look like. Melo has managed to keep hold of first place from Titus and Seatley. The gap between these 3 is about 5/10 each. Van Kobe has slipped and slid to about a second behind Seatley as things stand, Liddy.
Oh yeah, Seatley finds himself in P3. The biggest loser so far becomes Mendre, who's lost, gained 3 positions, I think, corrected. And the 86 has lost 3 positions. I think what an absolute start from Melo. Titus lost it. I think Melo managed to keep his position, so amazing start so far. Expecting a 2-stopper, so yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yep, this is what it looks like from the chasing pack. The chasing man, as far as the top is concerned, is Titus. Comes through unscathed through this castle section. Meanwhile, I would have you know, Melo the Mellow made his way even more smoothly. The gap is now a second before the end of the first lap. Baku, so treacherous. We've seen this track take scalp after scalp in Tier 2, in Tier 3. What will the situation be for these top-tier drivers? Titus makes it unscathed through the most dangerous wall that Liddy had mentioned a little bit earlier. Meanwhile, I would have you know that Seatley, who was so used to being at the front this time, finds himself 1.2 seconds behind second place of Titus, who is himself making gains on Melo the Mellow, has trimmed that gap down to about 9/10 as things stand. Absolutely intense. He's drained his battery to about 66% as things stand. And well, Charlie 3 Stats is warning them, they better not let Melo get away.
Oh, Spuda makes an overtake on Bangobi, which puts him in P6. Bangobi goes into the pits.
He goes into the pits. Yep, he might have taken damage, of course, in this first lap. A nightmare scenario. Things are so intense. Crash in Tier 1, taking damage early can pretty much mean the end of your race with this field of drivers.
It's detrimental, trust me.
Crash, how are you chatting and driving at the same time? We see you there.
Oh yes, Crash is making his way back to the pit lane. Streezy remarks that Man Ray is picking up places. He finds himself in P12 as things stand, and as these top 2 are fighting for the battle of the lead, let's catch up with this man. Selby finds himself in 5th place, and he is chasing down S. Buddha. Currently, the gap between these 2 about 6/10 of a second. Selby under pressure, as we've mentioned. He's currently bottom 3, which means automatic relegation after in this 13th race of a 24-race breakaway season. So he knows what he has to do. He has to finish in the solid points. But it's only lap 2 of 26. It's a long way to go, and Baku, being as treacherous as it is, has plenty of opportunities for you to donate a wing, perhaps, or even lose your car completely. Selby will be looking to keep it locked and keep it absolutely steady. He's being chased in turn by this man. You absolutely roasted Zotile in P6, currently looking for a decent points haul in that Red Bull car. Has had a tough start to the season. Of course, he is on a racing wheel. He is looking to adapt to that situation as Melusi the Melo the Mellow sets a 142.558. The gap between himself and the chasing Titus is about 1.2 seconds as things stand. We're watching Zotile, who is chasing this man, Selby. He, of course, is chasing X Buddha, who currently finds himself in P4 as things stand. He opens up that DRS, which has been enabled, of course, now. Sapiso says, being chased by Zotile, how? When he's 2.5 seconds away. Well, time will tell if Zotile can make that up.
Shout out to Tepo Temba. He had a 5-grid penalty. He's up 2 places already, and he's 5/10 on Zotal.
5/10 on Zotal. In fact, he's one to actually watch quite carefully because he is absolutely chasing down that Red Bull, that Honda-powered Red Bull. They make their way through this chicane, and he comes through unscathed. Zotal knows he can feel the presence of Tsepo Temba, who will give absolutely nothing away if Zotal blinks, if he struggles, if he makes the tiniest mistake. Then Tsepo Temba is absolutely on him like a rash. Now, what can he do here? Will he be able to get this move done on that start-finish straight? It is so dangerous, Crash, that long run to the finish line.
It is. One mistake, you're onto the wall there. So it's quite crazy. So you just also take note. Titus doesn't have the answer to Melo. Sihle doesn't have the answer to Titus.
Yeah.
So yeah, they well rooted there.
I was hoping to put that observation that the front runners are creating quite a gap between themselves. So even when DRS comes in, none of them are going to be having DRS, which is quite.
Yellow flag 6-3.
Virtual safety car. This man was on the verge of potentially taking Zotal's spot.
He's in the pit.
Takes some...
I think Spooder took some damage. That's why he's in the pits.
Let's see.
It is time to pit for the softs. They do go out after 4 or 5 laps, so not much has been lost there. It is time to go into the mediums. You can't take them to the end. 2-stopper.
Well, yes, Crash?
But they can stretch it out. It doesn't necessarily need to be a 2-stopper. It can be a 1-stopper. You can flip off the softs onto the hards. So obviously it's 5 laps. That I definitely agree too. But then again, you could stretch it to a good 8. And if you're pushing it 9 laps, which gives you about 18, 17 laps on the hards. So you could go for that. So, I mean, it's up to each individual what strategy they use. But obviously, in Titus, he always wants to have the least amount of stops and go as long as possible.
Yep.
This is famously known for.
Ooh, Titus hits the wall through the castle section.
Did he take damage? There's no visible damage.
Looking at Selby's out as well.
He's dropping. Yes, he's dropping.
Man.
September P3. Let's
P3,
go.
as Inati noted that VSC was a cheap stop. Perhaps Melo the Melo might have been 2. It might have the VSC might have been called after he had passed the pit lane. Your grid asking stand. I'll take you through the top 10. It's Melo the Melo leading this race. 4.4 seconds ahead of this man, Titus. And Tsepo Temba has battled his way despite that grid penalty, finds himself in P3, followed by Loveness, who will not be giving anything away. Romeo Mandla, the lone McLaren, he hits the wall! He hits the wall and he's out of this race, this Mandla. Absolutely.
So lucky.
Crash, you spoke about that wall on this final stretch of the track. Safety car is out.
Melo, guys, Melo.
He had passed the pit lane again.
Guys, Melo,
rotten luck.
Man raising P3, baby. Let's go.
Would you look at... Yes.
Melo is 17 seconds ahead, so considering that all the cars need to slow down, he might be able to still salvage a good pit stop and still come out P1.
Yep, we will actually watch along with him to see how he fares.
P3 maybe.
As he looks to come out. Do you reckon, Crash, it's about a 20-second loss or so in the pit lane?
Yeah, let's look at 2022.
All right, we will...
And the safety car.
Remember, they all at full speed because the leader's not behind the safety car as yet. Melo's the leader, so they all pass the safety car and they can maintain pretty much a decent speed, just all guided by Delta up until Melo comes around or whoever the leader is at that time and then is behind the safety car. Then the pace significantly drops.
Technical knowledge there from Crash and Kiza, guys.
Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for that context. He's likely to find himself perhaps in that P2 or 3 as things stand. He is 17.5 seconds ahead of Mfundo in P2, and then we have Man Ray in 3rd and Sihle in 4th. Despite that pit stop, he finds himself in 4th, meaning that he will have something to say as far as the result of the race win is concerned. So we're watching Mello the Mello, the current race leader, about to make his way presumably into the pit lane. What will that do as far as his competitors are concerned? He has to slow down. And here comes Mello the Mello, Malusi the Malusi. And how far is Mfundo? He definitely looks like he will come out in front of Mello the Mello here. Of course, Mfundo started on these medium tires, so, well...
Fundo's gone through.
Yep, he's gone through. Man Ray, seemingly...
goes through, Seeker goes...
No, Mello stays in P1, guys. It's
oh,
a cheap,
Mello made it out.
Cheap thing.
Wow, Senzo, you were correct. It looked like he wasn't going to make it through there for a second.
He made it out. It was tight, huh?
Yeah, very tight, very tight. It is now...
Because of the reduction in pace, you do get a slightly cheaper pit stop. Not like the one you'd get...
You're correct, actually. They saved a good 5 seconds there because the speed was much slower.
Agreed.
Oh, Mello, the Mello...
nail biting, I must say.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fortunate for Mello. What a loss for Titus.
100%.
P10.
100%. Yeah. And Titus, he hit a wall there, I think.
He hit the wall, yeah. So he pitted as the safety car came out. So he had lost a lot of speed as well. So obviously the time between him and the guys following him was quite close because they were catching up because he had to go so slow.
Well, under safety car in lap 6, I'll take you through the top 10. It's Mello the Mello, followed by this man, Mfundo, on 5-lap-old medium tires. Man Ray, would you look at that? Flying the Ferrari flag high.
Baby.
P3 is Man Ray, chased by his teammate Seaflay. Perhaps don't know if you'll see team orders and seeing them swap places there. The 86er is in 5th place, followed by Anebo in his commandeer Josh's McLaren. He is a half driver, I believe. He's in P6. Spy Zoto was 7th. Zotal, the roasted Zotal, is in 8th. As Buddha is in 9th. And Titus is lamenting P10 currently. The rest of the grid, Luddy.
Now in P11, just by the way, these guys don't get points. We're just saying it for saying. I told we have Lunks in P11, September in P12, and Ubanovi in P13. And I think these guys are used to being up front. Lavners with that mad pace in P14. Salvi Songo, who's looking to just have his season just pick up and get some fire in P15. D-Watts in P16. Kopos and Tindo round up the rest of the grid. And we have Romeo, who just DNF and Crash. Just tested the track for today. Brought the car back into the paddock.
Correct.
Man. Absolutely unfortunate for Romeo there. Out of the race. Romeo retired. Romeo must dye his hair purple. Maybe you'll get some purple sectors. No. We'll go.
Alban energy. Come on. Come on.
That should be nice to watch Titus.
Yes.
Fight up because he's got the pace, he's got the speed, the agility, and most importantly, just the tenacity as a whole.
Yeah,
so
and
it'll be interesting to see him.
I'm looking forward to Banobi, who's been showing some incredible pace throughout the season and good recovery. Because with the pace that Tier 1 has, no one's been really managing recovery like Banobi has. So I think I'm looking forward to how he's going to fare here.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. He has had some rotten luck in recent races, but has managed to recover into fairly decent race finishes here. So he's one that we'll be watching quite closely, waiting for the safety car to come back. Mello will be under pressure from Mfundo, who himself has to think about the 2 Ferraris behind him. Well, 86er, if you can keep this up, what a result potentially. P5.
Let's not jinx it.
Yep. Crash is saying, let's not jinx it.
Tyson Crash, strategy-wise, so we're looking at stops. We do have some drivers who are in a good position, but we still need to pit. But how are we looking?
Well,
soft runners at the end.
Soft at the end?
That's what I'm thinking.
Is that even without another safety car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm guessing. You see here, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But it's a calculated guess. Looking at the laps, what's going to happen is Mfundo, Man Ray, and the other guys with 6-lap-old mediums are going to have to pit, and they will pit because they pitted in like the first or second lap. So obviously they will be coming back on the softs and they're going to be charging. So obviously the leaders are going to respond. So I think they're going to pull the trigger, the guys that are on the older mediums, with the leaders responding, because they'll obviously have the track position and the pace and the time on the board as well.
Yep. So quite a lot to think about there. And, well, we wouldn't be too surprised if we saw another safety car later in this race. Such is the nature of this track. Unforgiving. Absolutely. The safety car has gone in. Mello is backing them up. We will see exactly when he decides to absolutely punch it and if he'll catch anyone off guard. Look at that. And Mfundo is no longer weaving. He is just expecting, waiting for Mello to send it. And then he could respond in turn. And it should be any moment now.
That's a dummy. That was a...
Oh! He stretches it. Look at that. 5/10 already before the first turn, the first corner. What can he do? He takes it nice and cleanly.
Yellow flag, 6-3. Titus has lost his car.
He goes into the pits, does Titus. Absolutely terrible race. He was so amazing in qualifying. Mello's restarts are mad, says Charlie 3 Stacks. Absolutely. 4/10, the gap between him and Mfundo. And this is what it looks like from the chasing man, who himself has to think about the two Ferraris behind him. Man Ray and Seaflay have not swapped places as things stand. No team orders, it seems, from those two. So Seaflay looks like he'll have to fight his way past his teammate. Will Man Ray let Seaflay pass? Asks Scullo. Well, time will tell. Here they come through the chicane.
Must just motivate Man Ray to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, he's giving him the position, I think, there. I just saw him backing off.
Yeah, here comes Mfundo through the castle section.
If you should stay with the swap positions there. It's good to see the both Ferraris up front, I must say.
Good to see. Definitely good to see. This will be good for Man Ray's confidence as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely needed.
Mello has already opened up a 2-second gap through the castle section. As Mfundo was taking things more conservatively, Mello said, okay, cool. You give me some breathing room, I will take a deep breath and open a 2-second gap. And Mfundo is 2.2 seconds behind now and has his work cut out to catch up to the race leader. Mello the Mello, what a day he's had. What a month he's had. Through the month of June, he's been absolutely sensational in that Mercedes.
Team orders at Ferrari.
At Ferrari, yep, we see Seaflay get that move done on Man Ray.
Man Ray pulls it back, slipstream. The line he's taking is not really good. He might need to try to get into the back, because the line he's taking is not going to make the chip in one.
Almost kissed the wall to Man Ray there by the looks of it. But the 86er says, thanks, I'll go on the inside
side
there.
Side, he makes it stick.
Observation, guys. The entire grid is on mediums.
Yeah, but some are on older mediums than others.
Yeah, but it's just interesting to see.
They're banking on another safety car.
Yeah, quite possibly.
They all banking on another safety car.
Yep,
I was expecting Proposer to go on hards. He's been having a real good run on hards. Maybe the positioning doesn't allow him because he wants that extra pace to go into the
Yep, I just saw Man Ray struggle a little bit with the grip there, but he managed to keep it on track. He is hunting down the 86er, wants to get this P4 spot back. He's going to have his work cut out for him. The 86er did well there to dispatch of that Ferrari and finds himself in P4. Of course, he's under a great deal of pressure. A little further down the grid, looks like there's a heck of a battle between Ban Kobe and Seppo Temba here. He is absolutely on his tail through these fast corners, and they're going to come to the heavy braking zone. Ban Kobe absolutely giving nothing away. He's being chased himself by Loveness, so he's chasing, but he knows that Loveness as well, if he makes the tiniest mistake, Loveness will be on his tail. Seppo Temba is no stranger to keeping cool and calm and collected under pressure himself. Finds himself in P11, a long way to go to get back into the top points finishes as DRS is enabled. And
it's a train. It's a train.
It is a train. It is a train
from
Hop in
Centurion
the
straight to
choo-choo.
Santa.
Oh man, Bankovic was taking a look there. He could not quite get that move done on Seppo Temba. Finds himself that gap being about 4/10. Let's catch up with one of the most roasted men today. This man, Zotile, finds himself in a DRS train. Would you look at that? That string, that line of cars.
Loveness and Bangobi, guys. Loveness and Bangobi.
Sam Bankovic, yes, they're side by side. Do they make contact? Oh, a little bit it seems. But both cars absolutely unscathed. Bankovic was under
the CBD.
He survived the CBD. Loveness was patting down those pockets. He was saying, hey, if you're not careful, I will walk away with your spot. But not in this instance. Bankovic still finds himself absolutely hunting down Seppo Temba under insane pressure from Loveness, who will not be giving an
That train
inch.
is just madness.
It is absolutely insane.
That train is just... Ooh, someone lost it in the castle. Stewards, yeah.
Finds himself in
I just like
P.
to comment tier
Yes.
1. The following distance is really close, and they've been keeping it together. So I just like to commend them on that. That's just leading from the front. That's amazing racing from tier 1. This train, everyone's just too close to each other.
Yep, absolutely. Let's catch up with Sifle actually in P3. As you can see, he is on Mfundo's tail. 3/10. The DRS is open. They're
That's a
on the final
train.
track. Mfundo
Sifle goes through on
concedes. Yes, he goes into the pit lane, does Mfundo. And now Sifle has a 3.9 second gap to the lead. Mfundo concedes, and with 10 lap old soft tires, has opted for a set of hards. Yes, Crash.
Because Bangobi and Loveness were wheel to wheel. Sorry for that.
Man. Meanwhile, Spizozo is side by side with Hannibal and gets that move done. Meanwhile, Espuda is also looking to pass the McLaren of Hannibal at this moment. He gets that move done cleanly. Does Espuda finds himself in P5. And Neville, will he fight back? Can he fight back through the CBD section? Well,
VSC, Seppo Temba is taking a knock, I think.
he is dropping like a
Lanray is
stone.
dropping, Bangobi is dropping.
There's action everywhere, guys. Like, there's just...
Let's see how much damage these guys might have suffered. It is a virtual safety car. That wing on the Alpine of Tepa seems to be...
The 10 lap medium guys should pit
Yeah,
for another set of new mediums
yeah.
to take to the end.
No, you
Let's-
couldn't pick for mediums if they...
They started on softs. They pitted on the first lap.
You've seen the fresher mediums.
I said the 10 lap mediums.
10 lap mediums.
But the 10 lap
Should pit.
mediums are... Aren't they
Should
the
pit.
oldest?
Yeah.
That's why they must pit for the new mediums to take to the end.
Let me just check the stops.
Let us see.
They pitted on the first lap, all of them, the ones that are on 10 lap old mediums, because they had ring damage in the first.
86er has no
86er
stop.
has
Spizozo has no
Spizo.
stop.
Yes.
Gerwa has no stop, and Mendre has no stop. Remember that only when they cross the start-finish line will it register as 11 laps.
Oh, there's
Oh,
carnage!
Selby! Selby
There is carnage.
becomes the second driver to crash out of this race. Under
Has never passed
pressure,
the pits.
points-wise.
Yeah, they all have.
Oh, they've
Probably
passed the
full
pit.
safety car.
Let's see exactly what that means. Is that a full safety car? I just see the flags at the moment. I'm
Yeah, it's
not...
still yellow flags. It should be a full safety. I don't know.
Commentators as Mello, as Sitle, as 86. Okay, 86 has to pit. So Mello and Sitle leading the pack. What do you do?
They all pit for mediums to take to the
Fresh
end.
mediums, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
fresh-
agreed.
set of mediums. Yeah, that would make absolute sense at this point. If it was a full safety car, the likes of the 86er and Spizozo would be thanking their lucky stars being
They
on those
would.
older medium tires. But
Is it green flags?
yeah, race control says carry on.
Oh my god.
Race control says carry on. Meanwhile, Loveness, who we were watching earlier, has opted for a set of soft tires, interestingly. So perhaps he's banking or hoping, praying on another safety car. At,
Tire allocation, guys. I have a quick question. Tire allocation. You're given 3 soft tires. How many hards and how many?
2 mediums, 1 hard.
1 hard. Okay.
Well, this man, Sichle, is chasing down Mello the Mellow here in lap 12 of 26 here in Baku. Let's actually hop on board with Sabuda, who seems to be having a fight of his life with Spizozo. As you can see, this is what it looks like through those absolutely unforgiving corners down to the final start-finish straight. He's got DRS. He opens that DRS. He is right on his tail. He weaves to the left. He is on the inside line, and he gets it done. Dispatches Spizozo, finds himself in P4, 8-lap-old medium tires. That's Buddha. What a potential day for you here, if you can get this done. Lungs, meanwhile, is absolutely sending it. He is on Zotal's tail, and, well, he has given him a lot to think about. Zotal attempts to break that slipstream, as, of course, he's preparing to come into this chicane now, and Lungs inches closer, but cannot get the move done in this instant. Of course, they will approach another DRS zone, as we've just seen Spuda dispatching of Spizozo, so Zotal knows it is not over by a long shot. This is what it looks like from Lungs' perspective. He is absolutely hunting down the Red Bull, which is in turn about a second and a half behind the car of Enebo here. Into the castle section they come. Will they be unscathed through it? Well, you see Zotal slipping and sliding there as Lungs takes full advantage and gains a tenth or two. He is right on his tail. He is absolutely hunting him. Unforgiving. Oh, is he going to look to get it done on this section of the track? Not necessarily. Both the Alpines are on Zotal's tail. Seppo Temba and Lungs right on his tail here. They come through that slower braking point unscathed. And of course, Zotal knows the DRS section is coming up. He is absolutely under strain. If he's unlucky, he could be surpassed by both Alpines here. But, well, Zotal being Zotal, he will not give it to them on a silver platter. Let's see what he can do here. It's Lungs absolutely hunting him down. Zotal is weaving a little bit, trying to break that toe a little bit. He is in 8th gear. Zotal weaves left and right. Is it enough? The answer is no. Lungs has the inside line, but not quite. Zotal hangs in there somehow by the skin of his teeth.
DRS again.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, Crash.
No. These Alpine boys, what a beautiful combination.
Okay, no team orders. Temba is just on Lunz's gearbox.
These Alpine boys. What a combination.
Absolutely amazing coming from, I must say, from Zotal, because Lungs just decided to pull back because of the exits. Zotalia has been having some really exceptional exits up there.
It's experience. Something you can't pay for. It's experience. It's kicking in.
It's kicking. As Lungs.
If you follow into the corners, Lungs has been having better time through the corners. He gains a 10, 2 tenths up the corners. Maybe the Zotalia might have had a setup that's good up the straight. That's then corrected. But he gains 2 tenths just down into the castle section. But the exits on the straight is just rapid.
Yeah, that castle section, I saw Lungs slip up a little bit there, lost a couple of tenths, and Zotal has managed to stretch that gap. And if he managed to stay unscathed in the previous lap, well, the couple of tenths that he's gained now will definitely help him. And Zotal is quite likely punching that battery, looking to get out of this danger posed by these two Alpines, chief of which is this man, Lungs, currently in P8. Man, when you look at that gap, Zotal has absolutely punched it as Buddha moves into P3, courtesy of the 86er coming into the pit lane. Now, Lungs is absolutely sending it as Zotal has been even close enough to threaten Enebo. And as Key Music was mentioning in the comments, Zotal was waiting on Lebo's tires to give in, even though he was vulnerable, as Charlie 3 Stacks and Tapiso was saying. Tapiso was saying Zotal was flirting a little bit with the castle section there. Under pressure, he was, and we will see it's a total DRS train from P5 all the way through these next couple of cars, Crash. Absolutely insane.
Crazy.
Can I just
Here comes the tricky part.
Yes.
I don't know who's going to pit and who won't pit now. Because we've got 11 laps to go.
11
Are
laps
they
to go.
going to stomach it for track position? Because they, especially look at the top, say 4. There's a good cushion between each other. So I think everyone is sitting on the next yellow flag, sector 1. Yellow flags.
When do you guarantee
PSC,
that
they're pitting. VSC, they pitting.
Melo has to pit. What do you pit for? But you can't go on softs. It's a fresh set of mediums.
It's a risk.
Yeah,
Softs are
if
a risk.
yeah,
But then this is tier 1.
yeah, this is tier 1. If it was a full safety car, I wouldn't have been surprised if, you know,
I would have
considering.
gone on softs as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Given the fact that you've got about 3 laps cushion, just, you know,
Exactly.
to coast around the track.
Exactly.
Good observation.
Mello the Mello comes into the pit.
Yes.
Now, what will you do? 8-lap-old
Sifle
medium.
comes in.
Seathley follows into the pit. It is a
Yeah,
fresh
it's
set of
medium.
mediums.
Of course, yeah.
Personally, for me,
Smoother comes in or goes through. Truck position.
Oh, VSC
Drive through for Man
Ray.
Ray. Oh, he's in last again. Oh my gosh.
As Buddha has opted to stay out on those medium tires. Well, is he hoping for a late safety car and then he can slap on a pair of softs? Well,
It's race on already.
yeah.
It's good to
Race
see
on already.
Melo see a gearbox. I think just the observation that he hasn't been privy to seeing anyone's gearbox today.
Yep. And for the first time today, Mello the Mello is in chase mode as we see hop on board with him in P2, the gap about 6/10, but the tire age is night and day. Fresh mediums for this man, Mello the Mello. As Buddha, 11-lap-old medium tires. So, grip for Buddha will be at an absolute premium as you see him taking it absolutely carefully through that right-hander into this castle section, which has claimed so many scalps already. Oh, well, he comes through it, quite well there. The gap already a second between these two. It was just a matter of tenths. And Seatley, having come into the pit, has allowed Spizozo and Enlebo to steal the march on him. So Seatley will be fighting to reclaim that P3 spot.
Ooh, yellow flag sector 2.
You see who that was for, perhaps?
Not yet.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Zotail is dropping. Zotail is dropping.
Has he taken damage?
I think
Where is he?
has.
Let's
Yeah,
take
he's
a
dropped to
closer look.
P9.
Section is going to have him.
Oh, he's got no wing. Looks like a
no
shark.
wing.
Shark Tank.
Looks like a shark. He's donated his wings to Baku, has Zotail. And the roasting
Melo's gone
session.
through. Melo's gone through on Spuda.
Oh,
Back
man.
in the
We missed that action. Mello the Mello on a
Spizo,
fresh...
what's happening? Oh, Spizo's pitting.
He went into the pits. Old tires does Spizo have.
Let him
And-
gamble on a fresh set of softs.
I think Nevo's taking a risk. 16 lap olds of mediums. The degradation in Baku is a bit much, man.
Softs for Spizo, definitely.
Yep, let's see how Seaflay fares. He is absolutely sending it as you see Lebo's red light flashing, his battery screaming. Oh, it comes inside, a little bit of contact between the front and rear tires respectively of these two cars, but none of them thankfully taken too much damage. It was wheel-to-wheel contact between Seaflay and Lebo, who gets that move done.
9 laps to go, 8-second cushion.
You means Buddha?
And Sihle,
Man, 12 lap. I mean, Baku is aggressive on tires.
yeah, Baku's aggressive, definitely.
Crash, would you risk it? Spuda, also quite an experienced driver, 12-lap-old, of course, grip is that. Would you risk it and for track position?
I'm Spuda, I'd go as far as I can go now. I can't come into pit now, it's too late.
Yeah.
I need to take it to the end.
All right, let's see how Lungs fares in his battle to overtake Nebo, who has been slowly falling back courtesy of those older tires. I must say, Lungs is doing quite well. 12-lap-old medium tires here, and he has yet to pit, as Inati recommends Spuda should just keep track position. Sapiso says, the more things change for Zotail, the more they stay the same. Mello the Mello, with a fastest 142.017. Lungs goes on the outside of Enlebo and dispatches of him as Enlebo concedes and comes into the pit lane.
Seppo goes through.
Yep, he goes through those
The
Alpine.
Alpine double.
Yeah.
I told you about those boys.
I'm calling it now. I think Lungs ends on the podium.
Kilibata 1 by 1, says the pair of Alpines, going slow, going absolutely steady here in P4 and 5, respectively. Man, the gap between P1 and 2, currently 2.8 seconds. And Seaflay, we would have you know, who was about 8 seconds behind Esbuda just a couple of minutes or so ago, has cut that gap down to 6.7 seconds. So, in a couple of laps time, if it stays this way, then Sifle will be in striking distance of Esbuda. And, well, time will tell how whether or not he manages to get that done. Esbuda going slow and steady, manages to keep that position. Let's catch up with Spizozo. Soft tires chasing down Mfundo, who opted for a set of hard tires quite some time ago, 6 laps to be precise. And Spizozo has the grip advantage, he has the fresh tire advantage, and, well, when they come through the next DRS zone, he definitely will be in striking distance to snatch that P8 spot from Mfundo. Under pressure here, Liddy.
I'm trying to look at the point sections, especially who really do need the points, because I'm seeing 86 having a really good race. I think he's shown that in qualifying, that he does have really good pace here.
Yeah.
It's quite rare to see Banovi out the points, so I think we're going to have a bit of a scramble there for whatever points are lying around.
Yeah.
Just towards the end.
He's too far back. He's got about a 4.5 second on Boboza and a further 3 on Unga on fresh softs.
Yep.
So that will never stick.
The Alpines have swapped further ahead, and Spizozo on the softer tires gets that move done on Mfundo well before the braking zone, and he will carry on there, looking to inch closer and closer to the 86er, who, as you've mentioned, Liddy, is having the race of his life. Well, Tapiso is absolutely going in on Zotao in the comment section there, as I'm sure a lot of you can see. He's absolutely gleeful at the bad luck that Zotao has had here today. Now, the Alpines had swapped positions, but they're, of course, not fighting. It looks like Lungs is given Seppo Timber a chance to possibly see what he can do to catch up with Seaflake, who is in P3 as things stand. Meanwhile, the gap was about, 6.7 seconds a couple of minutes ago? It is now down to 2.9. So, in a couple of minutes, we will be watching Seaflake in striking distance for that P2 spot. Sbuda struggling for grip on 14-lap old medium tires. A little bit further.
Sbuda doesn't need to really punch it that much. He can lose a position to Sife, but he should just fight for top 3. I mean, he's got the cushion, so also probably he's also wise and not punching the tires. He's just trying to see them through to the end.
He's managing them.
So he's managing them. He's a well-established driver, so he should know what to do in a position like that.
Yeah.
No, I think he should just defend it a little as much as he can, just for that extra delay and just have that buffer. And when the position, give the position away, I think he'll get it.
Go on board with the Alpine boys. They're exchanging positions like nothing.
Yep. We'll be catching up with them in a second of just watching this overtakes by Zozo. Comes on the inside of the 86er. Oh, the 86er was looking to fight that a second or so ago, but he gets that move done. Spizozo, one by one, picking them off. Let's catch up with the Alpines now. Swapping positions, having a little bit of fun out here in the track. A little bit of a buffer ahead of them and behind them. So they're really taking it nice and steady. No need to take unnecessary risks. They keep swapping positions, giving each other a tow. And, looking to see how far they can get there. Well, not sure, of course. Yes.
Interesting observation there, especially I think I'm directing this one to Crash. What does it do to the gap when two drivers are working together and giving each other DRS? What does it do to the gap that's ahead of you?
Depends who the driver in front is, but if the quicker driver is in front and he's pulling you quite well with the DRS, it closes the gap.
Okay, so the working together from the Alpine boys could be beneficial eventually, but the gap is open unfortunately.
They're fighting, they're not working together. They overtook each other 4 times. I've been paying attention to them.
Yeah.
So it's race on, basically. Pay attention now. Lungs is in the DRS and sending it behind September.
Finally, Sifle getting that move done on Esbuda, and as Titus, or rather as Inachi noted in the comments, Titus has managed to fight his way up to P6. But those tires, 11-lap old tires. At this point, just 5 laps to go. He can take them to the end, but grip will be at an absolute premium. Man, he has had a lonely race at the front, has this man, Mello the Mellow. We've barely spoken about him. Not too much in the way of battles. It has been a masterclass, a clinic of driving out here in Baku. Absolutely comfortable race so far with just 5 laps to go. Mello the Mellow looking absolutely good.
Has gone through on Triple Timber again.
So this is a fight. It is not necessarily high fives and exchanging, glasses of.
Yes, indeed. Yes, Ludi.
I stand corrected on the technical part of it, right? So if you change positions, right, no one fights in defense because defending loses both drivers' time. So if you working together, you can give each other DRS and let him overtake, and then when you come again, the other one gives you DRS and you use the DRS. So it's not fighting. It's pulling each other forward. But I think September might be struggling for grip now.
He almost lost the car. I think they need to. Who's behind them? Titus. Oh, Titus is quicker, yeah. So they have to be pushing.
I think they're struggling for grip. I think.
Whoa! Oh man, September really coming close there.
Yeah, that was
close. So close. So close to hitting his teammate.
Titus is within 1.1
second.
1 second. Nine tenths. Eesh.
He's down to within DRS by the time the next detection zone comes up. And would you look at that? His battery is hovering around the high 60s, low 70% for Titus. So he's saving that battery. He knows he's inching closer and closer. And he could just get that move done. Those Alpines are side by side once again.
They let September through, so he pulls Lungs and they keep that DRS. And that's what they're going to try and do until the end of the race.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Brazil, actually.
They might have to fight it out in the last lap. Let's just see the standing. So you have Lung sitting in P3 and you have September, who's in. Why am I struggling to find him? Jesus Christ.
Well, let's see what is happening in the comment section. Wendell Shezi was saying Zotal is focusing on his commentary career. No, Zotal's getting cooked like TT's tires, says Gavin Maverick in the comment section. The roast of Zotal in Baku. Well, when you watch us back this video, you will be absolutely seething. Maybe this is the fire that Zotal needs to get back to his race challenging ways and get used to that racing wheel. And in
so you see,
yes.
Just going through the castle, the gap between September and Lungs is about 1.9 seconds.
Yes.
Did Lungs hit the wall or what happened?
Definitely lost it there. And that brought Titus straight into the reckoning, but Titus slid there. Those 13-lap old medium tires kind of screaming there, so telling Titus to really be careful. He slid a little bit, but he lost the 2/10, so the gap between Titus and Lungs is now about half a second, give or take a thousandth of a second or so. Now that DRS is open, will he get this move done before the end of this straight? The answer is yes. He now splits the Alpines. Yes, Titus is now the ham in an Alpine sandwich. P5 for Titus, and now he will have to contend with Lungs on 4-lap older medium tires chasing behind him. The 86er is on a set of hard tires, and he's absolutely sending it, chasing down Enlebo here. And Ms. Bonner says it's going to be nice to see Mello on the podium. We'll catch up with Mello, of course, in a second or two. The gap is building now. It was about half a second or so between the 86er and Enlebo, but Enlebo has managed to stretch it, of course. Fresher softs. Way more grip than these tires that the 86er is running. Well, D-Wax, what are you doing? You've managed to serve.
Mpundo has had a horrible race.
Absolutely.
He's pitching again.
Yeah, and he was surpassed by D-Wax as a result. He just came out of the pits. As you can see, he opens up that DRS. Can he get it done? Oh, no, he has to come to the braking zone and make sure not to hit the back of that AlphaTauri.
Titus could catch Tsepo.
Almost hits the back of
and he touches the wall.
Did Titus touch the wall?
No, Tsepo, but he brazed it. But I think Titus could catch. He's within DRS already. And he's got 3 laps. Yellow flags, sector 3.
If Titus makes this move stick,
Lungs drops.
Lungs drops
Lungs
to Spizoso and Nebo.
18 old lap mediums.
the grip was gone. The grip was gone on
Yeah.
those tires.
Titus opens up that DRS, but he's nowhere near close enough to take advantage of Tsepo Temba here. Now, someone who has been having a horrible race, like you mentioned, the crash, Mfundo, he's chasing D-Wax way down in P15, looking to get this move done on the AlphaTauri. He is right on his tail, absolutely fearless as far as the potential braking points of the AlphaTauri. Let's see what it looks like from his perspective, Mfundo. He takes a sneak on the inside. That red light is flashing, meaning D-Wax has just under 10% worth of battery power left. And Mfundo goes on the inside rather, of D-Wax and dispatches before that first corner. A little further up the grid in P5, Titus is now on Tsepo Temba's tail. He's managed to trim that gap to less than a second as they come through the castle section. Tsepo Temba comes through unscathed.
That was a touch. That was a bump. I saw that.
Yep. Tsepo Temba under pressure. Those tires screaming. 18 laps old in an unforgiving Baku circuit. So many braking points, so many places for those tires to get eaten away again and again. And he will have a fight in his hand now. Titus will most certainly have DRS on this final stretch, which has seen so many overtakes here. And this is what it looks like from Titus's perspective. He himself has to be careful, of course. We saw him losing a little bit of grip a couple of laps ago. And he's now in 8th gear, but nowhere near close enough to take advantage here as we are about to begin the penultimate lap as far as Titus's viewpoint is concerned. The race leader, Mello the Mellow, has had a comfortable, uneventful race, barely challenged.
Sheer dominance.
Absolutely dominant race.
It's 3 out of 3.
Man.
Just so you know, Tyson, it's 3 out of 3. You've been away for a while. 3 out of 3
3
for Melo today.
out of 3. What a streak, man. What a streak. He is absolutely comfortable.
That was racing other guys. Like, does he know that there were other people racing?
Shout out to Smuda.
Yeah, man.
20 laps on those mediums.
Another masterclass from this man in the Aston Martin 20-lap old medium tires, followed by another driver doing absolutely insanely well on old medium, Tsepo Temba. 19 laps old. Titus, 16-lap old medium tires, chasing down the Alpine of Tsepo Temba, which was sadly split from his teammates. He fell further and further down the grid and finds himself, that is, in P13.
He had to go get away. I think the last battle we have is between Titus and
Titus, Tsepo Temba opened that gap. It was 3 tenths. He opened it to a second.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal.
He's managing him so well.
Yeah. And
By
now,
the way, guys, no penalties, huh? Shout out to Tier 1.
yeah, absolutely no penalty. Streezy still going in.
Let's go, Tsepo. Send it, boy.
Send it. This is what it looks like from the chasing man, Titus's perspective. Look at that control. Look at the precision from Tsepo Temba on those old tires. But Titus has no answer. He cannot get close to this man. Tsepo Temba. Oh, Tindo becomes the third driver to crash out of this race here in Baku on the final lap. Oh, Tindo, he wasn't P15, so it wasn't a points finish. Bringing out the yellow flags, slowing down the cars in Sector 2. And I would have you know that this man, Mello the Mello, currently making his way through Sector 2 on the final lap of the race. One of the most dominant performances this season, about 5.8 seconds in front of the followers, Tifle. These are brown boy levels of dominance here, as far as the race performance is concerned. P9 Kaboza, says this fellow in the comments. Absolutely insane. From qualifying, he was incredible, Crash. In the race start, he was great.
Oh, Titus bumps into Tsepo Temba.
Oh, what does that mean? Did Titus lose a...
Guys, give
he lost the wing as Titus.
Give Melo his glory. Like, absolutely amazing race. Melo's about to finish.
Yes, here comes Melo down the final straight. It's been a dominant qualifying session, a dominant race. He crosses the line and wins in Baku by a factor of 5.5 seconds from this man, Seatley, who couldn't have an answer, who couldn't come up with an answer today. 10-lap old medium tires, crosses the line, 5.4 seconds behind the race winner. As Buddha, 21-lap old medium tires, brings it home for Aston Martin in P3.
Buddha driver of the day, guys. Like,
yes, who's your driver of the day? Let us know in the comments. Buddha crosses the line in P3. What a performance. What a solid, absolutely scorching race from the Aston Martin. Tsepo Temba, he's new to Tier 1, but he's not new to driving absolutely fantastic races. Finishes in 4th place in front of this man, Titus, with a damaged wing, brings it home in P5. And Lebo, what a day for him, starting at the back, finishing in 6th place, the 86er, a decent points finish for him. He needs the points in P7. Ban Kobe brings it home in 8th place, followed by Kaboza, who recovered to a points finish of P9. Zotal, unfortunately, not in the points as things stand, because this man, Lungs, who had an absolute roller coaster of race, finishes P10. Zotal finishes in 11th place, followed by Zozo, then Mfundo, Loveness in 14th, and D-Wax will finish in 15th place ahead of Man Ray in the Ferrari. Absolutely insane race, Crash and Liddy.
Oh man, what an absolutely amazing race. I think stellar job from Melo. Almost 0 mistakes made there. Tight call from the safety car. Almost had bad luck from it. I think and Buddha with the tire management. Amazing. Congratulations to the top 3, Melo, Sitle, and his Buddha. Let's go, Tier 1.
Let's go, Tier 1. Sitle Laga, the championship protagonist. What an insane race that was. Congratulations. Another podium place. How on earth was that race from your perspective?
That was so difficult. The setup I was using, I was actually supposed to feel much better than it actually did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was slow online.
What exactly did you tweak in the setup, and what wasn't responding as far as car performance is concerned?
No traction. And the slow corners, I was losing about 2/10 to Melo.
Yeah.
I think in quali and the race, which is a lot of time.
Yeah. Tell us about, you sat in the pit lane for quite a while in Q3, and you saw the times fall. We were following you closely in your first run. We saw that slight mistake towards the end there. Take us through your mindset, and is that when you realized the issues with the setup? Was it in Q3 particularly?
I felt it in Q1.
Yeah.
They thought I was sandbagging in Q2, and I was actually pushing. And it was just not responding.
Yeah.
But in Q3, I tried pushing a bit more, hence that mistake.
Yes.
Towards the 3rd sector.
Yes.
I wish that didn't happen, because I was actually going to set a quicker lap. Those tires were still softer. So.
Yeah. Man, but when come race day, we've seen you deliver, and once again you did. We'll catch up with the race winner, who's just joined the commentary box a second ago. But in P3, a podium place, an absolutely insane race. It's Buddha. 21-lap old medium tires. You brought it home. How on earth did you do that?
Hey, bro. It was risky, but I had no choice there.
Yeah.
No, after I missed the opportunity for when Melo and Sihle pitted under virtual safety car.
Yeah.
And he just finished as I was coming towards the pit, so I decided to stay out. And from there, I'm gonna relinquish P1 and P2.
Yeah.
And I was aiming for 3 and just driving as careful as I can.
Yeah.
Just take them all the way to the end. Just kept on checking with Jeff. And he kept telling me no tire issues at the moment, so I kept going.
Man, how difficult was that? And at which point would you say, was it from like lap 14 of those tires that it was difficult? How difficult was that towards the end for you?
It was. I started feeling the tires more when I hit like lap 20, because I was really sliding around.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided, you know what, I have a good gap to P4.
Yeah.
And I could see they are fighting each other, which they're losing more time.
Yeah.
So I had no reason to push, and I had no reason to fight Melo and Sihle.
just take it easy and take it to the finish line.
Masterclass, man. Absolutely incredible racing. Malusi the Malusi, the race winner. It's a three-peat of race wins. A purple patch of notes. Classy drive. How was that from your perspective? Congratulations.
Yo, no, shout out. Thanks, man. Yo, what it is.
Melo. What are you trying to do, Chief? What are you trying to do? Maximum points. Three peats. Quali fastest lap victory.
Unfortunately, it was took my fastest lap, man, the last lap. So I'm.
I didn't see that one.
But no, I won't cry. I'll happily take 25 home.
Yeah. Man, we saw. I think one of the safety cars. We thought you might have been at risk of being of losing track position, but you managed to come out just in front of. It might have been. Was it Mfundo? I think. Were you worried about that coming out under VSC?
Oh, definitely, bro. Honestly, this race, I thank it to virtual safety car because the timing was always perfect. Titus was at the wrong end of it at some point because he pitted a lap earlier, then safety car came out,
Yeah.
Then the second time I came out in front of Fundo, just by an inch. So it was just luck, honestly. Luck won me this race tonight.
Man, with 3 back-to-back race wins, we would disagree.
No. That is not luck, my brother.
There is no ways.
That was a superb drive.
Incredible. Melo, what are you doing in the simulator, especially over the past month in your training? What are you Are you doing something differently? It's been incredible performances.
I did unlock something. I think I got to understand better the way I drive and the way I build setups. So the way I've approached my setups is different. It has unlocked a lot for me. So I think that was that was a breakthrough for me.
Yeah. Man.
But I'm not taking anything for granted. We still have everyone in Brakeaway trying to fight one. So I just break it down to the next race. Just take it the next race and take it like that till the end.
Step by step.
By the way, guys, that jump by Titus from 130 something to a 139.1 in quali. What did you guys think about it? Nigma pits and you guys had to go out on your flyers. Especially no, because you guys had been exchanging times all along.
Yeah, I felt like it was possible. Up until that little mistake I made, and I remember that my coming second run was slower. That lap was quick, and I messed it up.
Yeah, you had a purple sector one. I think you had
and 2.
Purple
one, and you're flying through because you came through the castle and then you hit the curb, then you had that little twitch on the right. Yes.
Yeah.
Melo, that's 139 flats. Where did it come from? Yo, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Where did that come from? Bro, during my practice, right, I could only do a 39.2. Like, that was the best I could do. So when Titus did a
39.1.
Yeah, honestly, I gave up. I was literally like, okay, P4, because I think Baku was even in the mix. I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to start P4. Next thing, as I'm coming down the straight, I'm seeing 5 tenths up. Joe, did I not pray, my man? I was so shocked, man. That's the best time I've ever done.
Yeah, because you were only 1,000 up through your first sector. And then your second sector is where you picked up time. I get third sector. I think both your feet are on the one pedal.
Yeah, what a left from Titus, man. What a left from Titus.
Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, man. Gentlemen,
thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Can I give Melo just a few words?
Yeah.
Hey, Melo, I understand. No banter. I understand how difficult it is, dude, actually driving behind this wheel with traction off. What you did, bro, is spectacular, and it's gonna get you to great places. And I hope to battle with you for the rest of the season. I got the wake-up call. Let's go.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Thank you. Absolutely.
as well. How?
Hey, don't forget to smooth.
Amataela was boo. Amataela was boo.
Buddha, you took the title.
Yes,
No, shout
absolutely.
out, that was a good drive. There was no matching your pace, guys. So nice.
Amazing. And
No, guys, that was brilliant. No
Thank
jokes.
you.
That was brilliant.
Thank you so much,
Shut
guys. Top tier driving. Everybody in the comment section, thank you. It's been the roast of Zotal in the comment section, as you will see in the replay. I'm sure Zotal will have a lot to say. But knowing Zotal, he will be back. This has been top tier breakaway racing. You will see these guys back on Thursday. We cannot wait to see you tomorrow for tier 2 and tier 3 from myself, Tyson, and Crash and Luddy. Thank you and good night. Thank you, gentlemen, and well done.
Let's go.
Thank you. Well done, gent.
Away.